Hey, this is Mike at Sweet Briar Farm, and I'm just going to give you a little update of a project we've been working on and all the troubles we've been having. We were digging new water lines for frost-free hydrants out from the house to the back, and we've encountered numerous problems throughout the journey here. So we'll talk about that in this video. So we started digging down the other day to the foundation where we have a, I guess you'd call it a Michigan basement. So we had to dig down to get a water line in for the hydrants that are going out to the back. So I didn't film any of this because we were non-stop busy. But as we were digging, there was all kinds of trash, glass, bottles, you name it, we found it, that was used as backfill. And it wasn't long after we started digging here, the kids said that there was sand in the water. And this house being built in 1880, and I believe the original well was somewhere put in the 1920s, 1930s, from what I remember. We have no official record. The health department has no record of where it's located. But our best guess is that we hit the well casing or jarred the soil and sheared the well casing. So you can see that there's this old piece of foundation here. Actually, it's on both sides, so I don't know if that was an old entrance into the basement, if it was or what. But our best guess is that the well is somewhere over here where there's an addition here that was probably put on in the 70s, and they probably built it real close to the wellhead, I'm guessing, because when we hit a block of fieldstone and concrete there, we must have jarred the ground, and that busted the well casing. So we've been living without running water for I think 3 days now. But anyway, I'll get back to that. We have a mini excavator here. The neighbor's a builder, so he's had access to a mini excavator. And we continued to dig, and we continued to dig down through here, going out to the back. And we put our first hydrant here next to the greenhouse, where I'll be able to run a short hose for the livestock tanks in the wintertime. We also dug through here, and I've got pictures that I'll put in the video. Dug down through here. We're a good 5-6 feet, and then actually we put some soil down and then put some 1-inch foam on top of that, because this is kind of a high traffic area and we didn't want to risk pushing frost down in the wintertime. So we got another frost-free hydrant over here. We left these open so when we do get water back, we can make sure that there are no leaks, and we'll level those up. So everything's been backfilled already except for the exposed holes. And we dug through here, trenched over here, got real nice and deep. We've got an electric line coming over here too to the goat area. And we put our other frost-free hydrant here. So we got 3 frost-free hydrants for the winter, which is great. So we've had no water. The neighbor has a water tank on the trailer, which I was able to take over to my dad's house. He's got a well with a flow, so it flows at 25 gallons a minute. So it fills this tank relatively quick. So we were able to keep the animals watered. You don't realize how much water you use until you don't have it easily accessible. Now we have a creek that runs through the property here, and one of the solutions for the cattle anyway was just to put them all out so they had access to the creek. The problem being is that it was so dry. There's not much grass over there, and there would have basically mowed it down to nothing in the time that we would have had them over. So I'm just kind of trying to stockpile the grass over there a little bit for a few more weeks until we do put them over there. But we have been really dry, and then last night we had almost 2 inches of rain. So this hole, you can actually see, was filled with water. That kind of yellowish line there, and all the sides caved in, so now we have to dig this back out so when we do have water we can check to make sure there's no leaks at the bottom of that pit. But in our excavating journey, I have an old line that I put in, just a water line and an electric line that I put in when I put in the wood burner, and that goes up to the house. So when I was hand digging to try to find it, I was off by about 3 feet, and I thought I had it deeper than it was. So when my neighbor was digging the trench, he hit the water line. It wasn't a big deal. Luckily, he didn't hit the electric line, so it wasn't as deep as I originally thought. Because back when I put this little shed in, it was just a chicken coop, and we didn't have a tractor or anything like that, so it wasn't very deep. But anyway, that's fixed. But then our drain line from our septic tank kind of comes from the septic tank in the yard there down through here, then it kind of comes at an angle through here. And despite knowing about where it is, the neighbor hit the sewer line, so it wasn't a big deal. That stuff's pretty cheap to fix, so we had that to fix. Now whoever put this system in was I don't know, must have been a homemade job or something, because where they had it coming out of the yard here, there's a drop. There used to be a wall. I got a video where I tore down that wall. So it's a drop and then a 90. But what they had a T on the end, and it was capped. It must have been used as a potential clean out for roots or something. So anyway, that was busted. So I put just a 90 in there. Had to fix that. I'm getting really good at fixing sewer lines. Last week I had the septic tank dug up. It was full of roots, and luckily there's a vault top on that, so we were able to lift that off, and I was able to cut all the roots out of the top. That old tank, I have no idea when it was put in, but it's only like a 300, maybe a 350 gallon septic tank. And then since we hit the well casing, we're having a new well drilled, and we're having that put in around the front because we need to be 50 feet minimum from the septic. So as the neighbor was digging, even though we had the sewer pipe exposed, he hit that. So we had to replace that sewer line there coming out of the house. And we are just waiting on the well company now to come and dig the well. So it's been a busy weekend, 3 days of trenching and fixing stuff. So like I said, you don't realize how much water you need, especially for livestock, until you don't have easy access to it. So luckily we had the tank here, and actually they have a pump in there that we were able to pump water to the livestock tanks. So we started that project this past Friday, and now today's Monday, so we're going on day 4 of no water, and I've filled that 450 gallon water tank every day. So you know, we use probably a good at least 350 gallons of water a day for the livestock, all the pigs and goats and cows. The leftover water I pumped into a tank that I have, just in case I didn't have time to go over and fill up the water tank again. But yeah, we're like living in the early 1900s. We have electricity at least, but we got water jugs for washing our hands in the house and flushing the toilet with 5-gallon buckets of water. So we'll be happy when we get our new well installed. So wish us luck. We'll see you next time.